Hey everyone, Frank Menard here. Hey, this week I'd like to bring up a conversation about what's holding you back. In Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, he references 7 basic fears that we all suffer from, that we're all going to be engaged in some way, shape, or form. So, my question is, which fear is holding you back? Well, let's go over the fears. The fear of poverty. It's the number one fear that we all face. Some of us don't have a lot of money, and we are fearful of how we're going to feed our family, pay our bills, have a nice home. And that fear stops us from perhaps taking a risk for a better opportunity, doing something a little bit extra or a little bit exciting because we just can't afford it. So fear of poverty is one of the most common fears that we have. And what I've learned is to combat that, we need to think abundantly. Now, that doesn't mean we just go crazy. It just means don't focus on the poverty, focus on all the things that you do have. And one of the great ways that we can do that is every morning before we start our day, or as we start our day, write down all the things that we're grateful for and be thankful for the life that you do have, for the money that you do have, the home that you do have. No, it may not be perfect, but you do have it. Be grateful for what you have. So fight fear of poverty with thoughts of abundance. The next one is fear of criticism. I think this one affects a lot of us very much as well. We always seem to worry about what other people are thinking about what we're doing or what we're thinking about doing or what our goals are or whatever. I heard a few years ago that, when you're 20, we're fearless, right? And we go after everything. We don't really care about what other people think about us. When we're 40, we start to worry about what are people thinking about us. It holds us back from doing certain things because people are going to think we're crazy. You can't possibly achieve that goal. What's wrong with you? Settle down a little bit. And when we're 60, we finally realize that no one was thinking about us at all. So it's all in our head. And one of the more recent sayings that I've heard, which I've really latched onto, is what other people think about you is none of your business. Don't worry about what other people are thinking. Don't be fearful of that criticism, because what truly matters is that you have faith in yourself, that you believe in yourself, and that you go after your goals. Nobody cares. Don't worry about it. They're not thinking about you anyway. So that was fear of criticism. Fear of ill health. We see this all the time. Most recently when the pandemic was really controlling our lives to the highest degree, everyone was fearful of becoming ill, and rightfully so. We were being made to feel like we needed to be fearful. We had to wear masks, and we couldn't go out. We couldn't shake hands. People were struggling just to be able to go out and buy groceries and have dinner. But at the end of the day, the only way that we can combat the fear of illness is to think and live healthy. Think and live healthy. We all have this family member. I know I've got one where I don't even ask, how are you doing anymore? Because when you ask, how are you doing, it opens up a conversation about all the ills that they have and all the pain that they have. So one of the ways that you can fight fear of illness is to think and live healthy. Don't allow complaints about those little aches and pains or the sniffles or the cold that you've got. Don't make that the major part of the conversation. Just fight it. Personally, I recently fought a battle of vocal cord cancer. And I remember my physician's assistant telling me almost every week when I went in for my treatments, Frank, you're not going to be able to keep up your physical activity at the level that you're doing it right now. Eventually, this is going to take its toll. And I just didn't accept it. I didn't accept it in my mind. I continued to run every single day. I continued to do all the things that I do physically to stay healthy. And I just had a mindset that, no, I'm good. I've got this. And I truly believe that mindset helped me so far win the battle with cancer. I'm cancer-free right now. And so, think healthy. That will fight the fear of ill health. The next one is loss of love, fear of loss of love. We don't have a lot of control on some things. My mom died a few years ago, and that loss was painful. And perhaps a child has died that I remember my sibling, my younger sister, passed away. That's painful, and we have to deal with that. And one of the things that I like to say in regard to the loss of love, if you can avoid, you can minimize the feeling. You're not going to avoid it. You're going to minimize the feeling that loss of love brings to you. If you live lovingly, in other words, you love all of humanity, you be kind to everyone, you live by the golden rule, and what happens is you're surrounded by love. So we can't control when a circumstance happens, but we can control how we respond to that. And how we respond to that is determined by what we've done around us. What's the support that we have? So don't let fear of loss of love control your life. Now, on the other hand, if it's a relationship and you're fearful of losing a relationship, well, typically we lose relationships because of the things that we do within the relationship. I was reminded recently, I'm a type A personality, and when I go after something, I go after it. I get way out of focus, way out of balance. And fortunately, I've been married for 46 years, and my wife can have that conversation with me. And she shared with me just recently, you know what? You're getting a little out of balance. I need a little time too. So if I ignore that, I'm setting the stage for loss of love. So I don't ignore it. I accept it. It is what it is. And I try to get back in balance to maintain the most important relationship in my life. So we do have control of some of those things. Fear of loss of liberty. And you know what? Do the right things. Don't do anything wrong. Be careful about how you treat people, and you probably won't get put in jail. Right? So in that regard, we can do the right thing and avoid that. The other side of that is, we live in the freest country in the world. I served in the military to defend that freedom. So my response to fear of loss of liberty is protect it at all cost. Protect it at all cost. Because we do have a wonderful life in a country that is the freest in the world. Fear of old age. We're all going to get old, but you can live youthfully. I happen to live in Southwest Florida. A large portion of our population are older people. But what's interesting is some people that are older look younger. They act younger. They do things to keep the machine moving. I kind of fall into that bandwagon where I try to live as healthy as I can. I exercise as much as I can. I do the things I can do. Now, of course, as we get older, that's going to change. You're going to have certain limitations. I certainly can't run as fast now as I used to. I certainly can't lift weights as big as I used to, but I can still do stuff. So being active and living a good, full, healthy life will help you have a wonderful older age. So there's no need to fear it. Can't control it anyway. You're going to get older, but you can control how you get older. Fear of death. Death is unavoidable. We're all going to be there someday. We have no control over it, but we do have control over how we live to hopefully help us live longer. But there's no reason to fear death because you can't avoid it. It's going to happen. So just live the best life you can now. Fear can paralyze us. Every one of those fears can paralyze us and stop us from doing the things that we should be doing in our lives. So if I want you to take anything away from today's message, be aware of all the fears that are around you. Have a conversation with yourself. When you decide to not do something that you want to do, when you decide to not take action, look in the mirror and ask you, why am I doing that? What am I fearful of? What's the worst that could happen? That's my message today, guys. I hope everything is going well in your life. Live the best life you possibly can. Be aware of the 7 basic fears: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, loss of liberty, old age, and death. Thank you so much for your time today. If you like this message, Please share it, subscribe. Love to have you get all my messages when they come out. And please have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.